colleagues and doctors and students. I welcome you on our Rubberdamology YouTube channel. My name is Alexander. I'm a dentist, and now we continue to self-education about application rubber dam in mouth cavity and using rubber dam isolation in dental work. Now we come to the next more complex education for self-learning, self-training to applying rubber dam and fixing it in cervical area with the Brinker gingival retractors and stabilizing them. For rubber dam, I'm using Nicton plate, and we're working with the plastic model of tooth from NetSkills company, and during my work I also show and explain some other instruments materials. Open the new plate of rubber dam form. Apply it to metal frame. We're using standard size of rubber dam metal frame. Fix your top left angle of rubber dam plate, cover with the angle of frame, and small tense a little bit to the right angle of your frame. Let's switch our cameras. Okay, good. Then make the same of the left angle of frame. Then fix bottom angles. We have equal small tension of rubber dam at the frame. What is the goal of our exercise today? We fix clamp number W3 at tooth 27, and then apply two Brinkers B4 on tooth 25, 24. In some cases we have very difficult stabilization of the cervical area, such kind of gingival retractors, but it's very useful for working in this area. So I want to show you some useful tips for stabilizing these clamps. Let's start to performing perforations in our rubber dam. For tooth 27, 26, in our special lesson we discuss how to apply template-free method of performing perforations in rubber dam. We have 4 perforations. Two for molars and 2 for premolars. Open clamp W3 and testing how it fits on the cervical area of tooth 27. Test stability, alright. Then don't forget to check interdental contacts if you need any additional instruments to solve them. Cut a small floss interdental, check 27, 26, 25, 24. Alright. In some cases, when we have carious lesions, not only on occlusals or cervical surface, but also on contact point, floss will be broken and we cannot invert rubber dam perforation around this tooth without a problem, and we lose very much time. We have 2 options to fix it. Stretch rubber dam around the clamp arc in the mouse cavity. Or the second way, we can remove clamp, fix it into the perforation in rubber dam plate, and then detach angles of our frame and insert it in the mouse cavity and fix on the selected tooth. Collect the angle of frame and angle of your rubber dam plate, insert in mouse and fix it. Very good. Then stretch back our rubber dam and fix these angles of frame. During my clinical work I don't tense inside mouse rubber dam with fingers because it's not comfortable for patient. And usually I use the clamp pillars and probe to move the rubber dam plate around tooth and clamps. And then I only invert this rubber dam around clamp, anchor clamp, W3 on tooth 27, and then stretch Nickton plate around selected tooth. Nickton plates is very elastic and it's work very well, but in some cases we also check it with the floss, dental floss. Also, the methods of floss inversion we discuss in future lectures. Then we open Brinker gingival retractors from our stereo packs. And I advise you to start with the tooth number 25 from the distal side to mesial side. In mouse, I very often stretch the rubber dam plate with my hand instruments in cervical area. Sometimes with finger, sometimes with instrument, if it works for you. We place clamp number B4 to tooth number 25. Repeat this with the clamp B4 on tooth 24. Turn the arcs of clamp to different sides because it's very useful to work, because you have enough space to work between these clamps. This is one variant. If you have very deep or carious lesions on the cervical area, this clamp can stand instability. What can you do? First of all, using your floss. Use your floss, make a ligature, and invert it around the arc of tooth number clamp W3. In mouse, you have a full arc covered with the rubber dam plate, such way. I release my model and rotate it for you. Some about this. And I want to show you a different angle. This way. So you need go under this point and invert floss such way. It's not very easy, but it's possible. made a loop and inverted around this arc. That's all. Then insert the end of floss inside loop and pull. Good. Then we start to fixing our Brinker arcs. You can use single knots to fix it. One, the next, like in surgery, a double knot. One, two, and pull. Then one again. Also, you can make a knot at the distal side of this clamp arc. Maybe it's enough one. Ready. It did not move mesially because it have anchor to distal side. You can cut and have nice to work. If you have problem with this one, I advise you to make fixation with the micro brush. I remove this floss from my model and from clamps. And in clinic, I mark the part of micro brush which I use for stabilization. And I mark in, out, in, and then also out. These parts. I make marker. I take marker for you. That you can look it better. And I must cover with color this surface. I take handpiece and cut half of diameter. Then I take, in some cases, scalpel and cut unused part of micro brush. Then, typically, my assistant or myself hold this part of micro brush directly attached to clamp B4 arcs, and I apply liquid composite, 2 dots. Yeah, when we made undercuts at the half of diameter, it's hold better, but in home use, you cannot make this. So just remember that it's better to make undercuts. Then apply additional portions of composite to have additional fixations. It's not very expensive for your practice to spend this amount of composite to fix this part of microbrush to two arcs of Brinkers. It may more stable during all work. The other part of microbrush you can also use for bonding. It's fine, but remember to apply and fix this microbrush to palatal or lingual side, not to vestibular, because you did not have enough space to move your uh, instrument for composite modeling. It's unusable. In the vestibular side, it's very fine from the palatal side. I hope you like it. But we finish our exercises traditionally to make envelope from our free margin, to making an envelope from our free margin of rubber dam. Let's start. Invert free margin outside, small tenths or pull down, hold with your finger, pull the free angle of rubber dam plate to the upper left angle of frame, hold your finger, this part of rubber dam and release your fingers outside. May to repeat this from the right side, or maybe your assistant made it synchronically with you during your clinical work. Then pull outside. Very good. So, what we need to repeat during this lesson? To fixing only one clump, it's enough to work with floss ligature. To fix 2 or 3 Brinkers at once, you need microbrush, flowable composite, and of course in dentistry, you need light curing lamp. For home use, maybe you receive uh, only microbrushes. You can buy it, it's very cheap, flowable composite, and it's very good investigation in your future is a good curing lamp. Thank you for your attention. Now your turn to work. Don't forget to like this video and write all your questions and suggestions in comments below. See you next time. Thank you.